Hi guys, welcome back to CATIA Verify training. I'm going to show you today how to use some electrical commands to create connection between equipments and connectors. So let's start with this product with two connectors and one equipment. Let's go to electrical assembly design workbench. Here we have these two toolbars, electrical device definitions and electrical connection point definition. This one is to tell CATIA if our product is gonna be connector equipment. As you can see here, define mounting equipment, define equipment. This one is define shell, connector, contact, filler plug, or back shell. And this one is to create the cavities, terminations, connector connection point, bundle connection point, cavity connection point, back shell connection point, and shell connection point. And these two icons is to create the electrical link between equipments, connectors, or the things that you have with electrical properties. Okay, I will show you the two ways that I know how to do this. And let's start giving the electrical properties to our equipment. So this one is gonna be an equipment. So we go to define equipment. This one is the Philips model. So just click it on it and press OK. And now you see the icon change. My computer is not working very good, so sometimes the geometry disappears, so don't worry. After that, now we need to define the cavities for these two connectors. So let's go to define cavity. Select equipment and select the representation. For example, I want the first cavity here on this side. So this is one way how to do this. So I want they have a contact here, this face, and they have coincidence on this pin. Alright, and press OK. And let's define another cavity for this one, but for this one we're gonna create it different. So let's create a middle point here because we're going to create an axis. Just let me create a point. Just put here surface and just put 0 millimeters just to have the middle point. Press OK. And after that, let's go to create an axis system. Go to insert axis system, and orange you select the point that you just create. I want my X like this one. You can change the direction. Want the Y like this, and like that. It's okay. Alright. Now let's go back to electrical symbol design. Let's define another cavity for this equipment. Want the representation on this. I want to have contact on this point. I want they have the coincidence on the X and an orientation on the Z. Alright? Okay. Okay, now our equipment have the electrical properties. You can see here on the tree, cavity 1, cavity 2. Now let's work on the connectors. Go to Well, the first thing you need to do is define connector. Just click on the command and click the connector. Oops, sorry. Let me see. Let me double click here. Okay, there you go. And you can add the number of termination. For example, this one gonna have 2, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. Press OK. The icon change, you can see here. And now we need to define the cavity connection point. Alright. So select the command, select the component, select the representation I want this face, and remember that we make a contact. We want to have contact to this face. So we're going to select this face, and we have the coincidence of this hole with the top pin. Alright, just select OK. After that, our connector have the electrical properties here, and we can use now the connection electrical device. So select, first you need to select the component that you want to move. In this case, I want to move the connector to the equipment, because if you select first the equipment to the connector, the equipment is going to move. We don't want that, so let's go to select the connector, and if you put your mouse over the equipment, you can see cavity 1 and cavity 2. We want this on the cavity 1, just click on it, and now you can see the constraints. Our equipment is electrically connected. Alright, so let me show you what happens if you move the equipment. If we move the equipment like this, you can see the constraints are in dark because they are not complying, or you need an update. So just press update, and now the equipment move. Alright, just let me put Ctrl+D. Okay, and now let's create the connection point for this connector. This one is going to happen in the other way that I know. It's creating an Assy system. So let me go to connector. Let me create a middle point here on this surface. Just put 0. Can use preview, press OK. And now let's go to insert Assy system. The origin, select the point. We want the X, this edge, and the Y, this edge. And I want to change the direction of this. Oops. Alright, okay. Let me change the reverse. Select the SD here. And you can change the reverse, the direction. Alright, press OK. And now, okay, let's go back. Double click the top of the product to go back to the electrical workbench. Now let's define this one as a connector. Select the connector, okay. One thing to make sure, if the icon change, it means you do it great. And now let's go to select, and define cavity connection point. Select it for this connector. The representation is gonna be this point. No. I mean the face. Sorry, the contact is gonna be this point. Coincidence. Remember, we select first the X. The orientation is D. Press OK. And now let's see what happens when you connect electrically. When you already have used one cavity, you want to see it on red. If you try to connect it here, it don't allow you. So select cavity 2. And now our equipment is connected. The difference between this one and this method is that if I put transparency to this connector, you can see here it's not aligned. I do it that on purpose, just to show you that you can move the axis just to have it more when you need to align some connectors, because not all the connectors are always like in the same dimensions. Sometimes you need to move them. Maybe sometimes the pins are not aligned. So to move the axis, just go to your cavity connection point. Remember, we create two points for the axis. Just double click. Double click on the point, and you can change to length. For example, I'll put 1. Now you can see the point move to the right. So if I go back, sorry, I go back to the product, double click, it automatically update the connector. But as you can see here, it's not aligned yet. We need to move the connector more up. So we need to change the Y. Let's see what happened. Just keep playing with the coordinates that you need to do sometimes. As you can see here, it moves up, but it was too much. So just double click again. Just put, for example, 0.5. Let's see what happened. I was in the other direction, sorry. Well, anyway, this is the two ways that I know how to do this. So keep playing with the settings. Sometimes you can see how the axis is moving, sometimes no, like this. And I hope you understand, and if you have more questions about this, just let me know. And oh yes, and just let me add this connector, these two connectors to our main assembly. Remember, this is what are we going to build, a harness to connect this equipment. And I like to work in two products at the same time, because you can see the changes, how they look in the main assembly. So after this, I'm gonna show you how to how to create the wire harness, how to add the attachments for this harness. I'm gonna create two harnesses. One harness going from here to here, another harness going from here to here, and we're going to cross all the ribs, and we're going to add some attachment. All right. I hope you understand all this, and thanks guys for watching. Take care.